Full Service Radio is proudly supported and hosted by Simplecast, the easiest way for a podcast creator to publish and distribute audio on the internet. For more information, visit simplecast.com.
Peace and welcome to the Edible Activist Podcast. I'm your host, Melissa L. Jones, broadcasting live from the lobby of the Line, D.C. On this show, you hear from the voices of dynamic Black people and people of color in the agriculture, food justice, and healing space as they share empowering food narratives and perspectives that stem from the land, all while exemplifying the spirit of activism in their own edible way. Let's get started. Mount Olive is a small town in Mississippi, just 45 minutes northwest of Jackson, with a population of less than 1,000 people. This is the place where Big Ma, my dad's mom, grew up, along with my great-granddaddy Gus, a sharecropper, and my great-grandma Lavinia. The last time I saw Mount Olive, I had to have been in high school, which was well over 20 years ago, as I tell my age, so it's been a while. But I've been drawn to explore the dirt roads that my ancestors walked along, especially knowing the agricultural history that is part of my lineage. There's been a yearning to dig deeper and understand how my greats lived. I wanted to see the corn, sugarcane, butter beans, and watermelons that my great-granddaddy grew, plus the tea cakes that my great-grandma Lavinia made, actually. I wanted to see the land where my grandmother lived and played as a child. Big Ma did create this lived experience for me as my TT Angel turned down each road. We made a few stops, one of which was to Cousin Loretta's house. She and Big Ma are first cousins. Their fathers were brothers. Sunday supper hit our noses as soon as we walked in the door. I'm talking buttermilk peas, dressing, caramel cake, rolls, just all the fixings you see on a holiday table at Black folks' house. LOL for real. As Cousin Loretta was fixing supper, my Big Ma and I chatted about all the great cooks in our family. I heard that Cousin Loretta could throw down, so I was curious about who else slayed in the kitchen. She went down the list, of course, adding herself. But my family keeps no recipes because cooking really just is a natural skill set that exists in my family.
Most of the time, just like on a special day of the week, we had fried fish. The catfish.
That was you?
I had to do that. But we had one of them big old deep fry.
Okay.
And you remember that, didn't you? We had a big old deep fry. We just throw that fish off in there. And that fish fried just as brown and pretty and the cheeses and everything. And we also did the chicken. And them teachers wanted all the chicken breast.
Wow.
You can't eat all the chicken breast. We don't have a chicken breast. But they wanted all the chicken breast. Miss Jones, can you give me a chicken breast? We don't have any more chicken breast. But they wanted it.
So, is that how you learned how to fry catfish really well, or you just did it because you just had?
I was just a good cook.
It was in your blood.
Yeah.
Had to feed the children. Is that how you learned how to do the pound cakes, though?
As I said, I was just a good cook.
I didn't get in the pound cake before she went to school.
Now my mama and her mom, they were the best cook you want to eat. And then my daddy had a sister named Aunt Emma. She was a good cook.
Aunt Emma was your sister. Emma was your sister.
Aunt Emma was my daddy and Uncle Dan's sister. And Aunt Bala was a good cook. Greta, great-grandmama.
Yeah.
Oh, Avala was Greta's great-grandmother.
Right.
Okay.
We all were good cooks. All of us were good cooks.
Belly's full, mine just with caramel cake. We said our farewells to Cousin Loretta and the family, And I told her that I was coming back to stay longer next time. She told me, no problem. You can be here all day with me. She would love to have me back. She also told us to visit the land where they grew food around the corner.
All right, then.
Okay, enjoy. Y'all come back.
All right, we enjoyed y'all, and we got to come back and be a little longer than this time.
Okay.
I'm going to stay all day next time I come back.
I'll be here all the time.
We continued to drive through town, waving to all the neighbors, because that's what you do when you're down south. The day was beautiful and majestic. At one intersection, we were met with a young Black prince, I'm going to call him a Black prince, riding a beautiful horse named Star. The young man's family was from Collins, Mississippi.
So we from Maryland, just here, just checking out the country.
Y'all from where?
I'm from Maryland.
Maryland?
Yep.
Okay.
My family lives down here. Well, some of my family lives down here.
My great-grandma from down here.
Oh, sweet. Do you live down here as well?
I stay in Collins.
Oh, okay.
They're color.
Cool.
All right.
What's the name of the horse?
My son called her Star.
Star? Okay, Star. Hey, Star.
That's a nice clean horse.
Thank you.
Memories came to Big Ma like a magnet. They actually never left. She even pointed out a hamburger location back in the day that had the best burgers. But during that time, back in the 50s, Black folks couldn't eat at the restaurant. Instead, they had to get their food from the back. Big Ma also guided us down a long road she walked to get to the grocery store and showed us shortcuts in the woods they took to see their relatives.
I didn't see everything but the liquor store. Where that at?
You remember hearing about the big old hamburger?
It's in the backyard.
You see that white building right there? Right there. But we couldn't go no further than the back. We had to go in the back. We couldn't come in the front and get no hamburger.
This building, this little white building here? You had to go through the back. Wow.
We had to go to the back, but they had the best hamburger you gonna eat.
You know what? That's what my father was talking about. Mm-hmm.
I had walked the street for many nights. The road, man, I don't see it.
Why?
Come to the grocery store.
Really? They just close.
Yeah. Basic. Yeah.
When nobody want it.
Sure did. There wasn't nobody traveling. Wait a minute, mama. Cars running in. We have no cars.
Say that was the only option, right?
This was the Okeechobee Creek. Okeechobee. That's what they used to call Okeechobee. Where you going? You had to go by the Okeechobee Creek.
We then drove by what looked like a homestead, but at the corner of the main road sat a house situated on bricks with a sign that read, "Stay Out." Big Ma says, "There is the house where my grandmother lived. It sat on a piece of land with other houses that you could tell were occupied, but this one wasn't. And it looked like it hadn't been touched since my Big Ma's childhood back in the 1950s. Who owns it?" I asked. Y'all know, and if you don't know, I am very militant, or at least I can be. All I need is an address. What is the address? Back then, everything was just a P.O. box.
That house right there.
What house?
One in the back, the brown.
The house.
Isn't the house right in the front?
Facing.
Oh, the one in the front.
Yeah, that's the house we used to come every Sunday and play.
Whose house was this, though?
Grandmother's house.
The big old tree is still standing
Wow.
there. It says "Stay Out."
Wow.
That's the house that we used to come to every
That
Sunday.
was your grandmama in my house?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
My mom used to have tea cake bucket hanging on the wall.
Wow.
So who land is this?
That's what I'm saying. I need the address to find out. All I need is the address.
Ain't no, you gonna look it up.
Yeah, that's all I need is the address.
To move.
It was a address on the
Everybody to move.
I mean, this place would be nice for somebody to come and build up on. They got a lot of land. See all that land over there, all that land right there. And let me show you. Go slow. Go slow. You used to go to the house. You see this page right here. See that tree fell? We used to go through a ball in them house right there.
To the right of
That's where Eddie and them used to go around through that. They got it
pass right
fenced
there?
off.
Yeah, the fence down.
Yeah, we used to go down through there to Eddie and them house. Show
Listen to do some investigation.
I am.
You want to come back here with you?
Well, the intention going to turn around and I'm going to get an address. Or do you know the address, Big Mom?
We continued to drive along, sharing the road with an old white guy with horses and a carriage. It sent me back in a damn time warp. I am not going to lie. But he was really friendly. He waved, and he even told us to look out for the wild geese, which we did see.
Oh! I guess we
Put it out the way. You might have put it in reverse and go back.
He pulling to the side. He going
I'm gonna pull it to the side.
somebody got pulled to the side. How they gonna work
No,
this?
he letting you through. That's why he pulled to the side.
Oh, okay.
I really feel like I'm in a time warp.
Look at the wild geese. Look at mine.
Oh,
Look at them. Wow. They said the wild geese out there in the
Oh,
water.
there they are.
oh, I see you. Mm-hmm.
We used to stay back over this way somewhere. It's somewhere over here. I don't know which one it is.
A donkey. That's a donkey.
Is it a donkey or a horse?
Look over the cow. See the cow over there?
Cows.
Hey, Melissa.
Hey, Auntie Niece. Hey, Auntie Niece. Hey, Jody. Hey, Auntie Niece. Hey, Papa Bear. Hey, Naya. Hey, Juju. My baby sister-in-law. Hey, Dookie.
Melissa here.
What she say?
She said her land, their land was somewhere up in here.
Okay.
Ain't no address.
Our next stop was to see Big Ma's childhood friend named Fountain. He greeted us in the driveway and called back more memories for us. You know, I learned that my great-great-grandma was a midwife. I had no idea. And at one point, she delivered 18 kids within 6 months. That is bananas. Fountain pointed across the street to a field where he was born. I was completely amazed.
So you were born down over there.
Yeah,
Right here.
Right behind your truck. Right there.
Right behind the truck.
About 500 yards down.
Wow.
Right down in the field.
Wow.
After our driveway talk, we trailed Fountain's big pickup truck. About a mile or two down the gravel road, he pulled over and showed us where great-granddaddy Gus and great-grandma Lavinia lived and farmed.
I think I said it. Yeah, you had said it earlier.
To the left or to the right, I guess. Ooh. Right.
I thought you were going to stop.
Okay, the house is right there where that pine tree was.
That's what she said. That's why I told him where it's at.
All right, right there where that pine tree, that's where the house was.
Oh, okay.
Go across right here.
Oh, okay.
You know, there's the whole road over on that side.
Right.
And Loving Them's house used to be right down here in the curve.
Right, sure did. Yeah.
That's the old place right there.
Okay, well, we appreciate it. The next time we come, we're going to know where it's at.
Okay, then. All right.
All right.
See y'all.
Okay.
Can I get in contact with you?
Huh?
Can I get in contact with you?
Anytime.
Anytime?
Uh-huh.
Nothing but vacant land, y'all. A mass of land. About 80 acres of land on this particular side. And we did not own it. Not owned by us. In fact, my greats didn't even own the house that sat at that corner. Why? I wanted to ask these questions directly to my greats when we made our final stop to their resting place. It took me a minute to find great-granddaddy Gus and great-grandma Lavinia, but I did. They were in separate locations though, but it didn't matter. If I had been by myself at the cemetery, I would have sat and asked questions and journaled my thoughts away. I had a few for them in my mind, but you know what I did find out while I was there? My middle name is spelled completely different from my great-grandma's. And for those who don't know, my middle initial stands for Lavinia. I was named after her and I carry it with a humble heart.
Aww.
This dog baby right here.
That's God.
Oh, okay.
So they didn't do your granddad dad? He's not out here?
Up yonder.
Do he have a tombstone?
And what? There he is, Augusta Jones.
Why he be way back there?
I don't know how they did it that way.
Well, who is this?
That's a Willie Jones.
That's a man that my dad and them was raised up with.
What they got about grandmama?
Jones was back here. Dan Jones. He died in 1961. It feel like it's brand new.
Right, exactly. Kind of scary.
Wow.
But it ain't. How long pig them had them put up, Mama? They just had them put. They pig them had them put up at the same time.
Okay.
That one and the dog baby.
Okay.
This is your granddaddy.
This is my granddaddy.
This is who you name after.
Oh,
You get your name.
I'm changing my name to the correct spelling. Don't you think I should, Auntie Niece?
My TT niece said she told my parents how to spell it in a like very jokingly because she's hilarious. She then proceeded to lock me in the cemetery by myself because she's a total trip. My visit was short but meaningful and filled with so much emotion and so much gratitude. This is my exploration, a journey that I have talked about for some time, and it has now begun. I don't know how many answers I'll get, but I'm starting to gather them. And of course, I'll need to track back even further to New Haven, Mississippi, where our roots extend back to. Not many of our elders are left, but I'm going to try my hardest to piece this together. But for now, this is Mount Olive, and the journey continues. Thanks for tuning in. You can catch today's episode on fullserviceradio.org, as well as iTunes and Spotify. Be sure to follow Food Talks in Color, that's just the letter N, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for all updates. Are you an edible activist? Sure you are. Come join me on the show. Just shoot me a DM on the gram or connect with me at foodtalksincolor.com. And if you're interested in sponsoring this podcast, let's connect. Peace and blessings. And remember, in the words of Baba Tariq Adunu, there is no culture without agriculture.